and they can be a bit of a pain to desolder those. I'm just going to grab a little charging board here for another project. It's got a little lithium-ion battery and a little control circuit, and you can see there's an IR receiver and a controller IC right here. So there's an IR receiver. I don't know if this is going to focus here. Focus. There's an IR. There's your bad net hand today. There's an IC underneath that little IR sensor. So if I lift that up, you can see how there's those typical 8-pin package. Let's bring it up here. This one shows it better. Typical little 8-pin package, and it can be hard to get those off a board in one pass unless you got to use heat, and if you don't want to disturb everything else around it. Depends on what you're doing and how much stuff you got to do. It can be a bit of a pain. So what I was going to show him, and thought I'd make a video if there was enough interest about it, was how in the past I have dealt with removing things like that. What you do is you take a piece of normal household wire and you either make a little tiny loop like this. You can see that. You make a little tiny loop of wire, and you bend it so that the pin spacing is for the size IC you want to work. And this loop here, this top part of these loops, is what that's what gets put up on the tip of the iron. Now, I haven't done this in a long time, so this is going to be a little bit of fun for me. And I got my old crappy iron. Now, on some of these irons, you can actually take this out. You can actually take the heating tip out, and you remove this, take the 2 screws out, and you put the you just put the end of this, I had it in my hand, inside. So you put that in there. Oh, there's the dog. What we're going to do today is we're just going to take a piece of twist tie wire. We're going to twist tie that around it. Ow! Oh my, you guys didn't see that, but I just had my leg stomped on by the dog. Sorry about that. She gets mad when I don't pay attention to her. I mentioned in some previous videos that the dog can sometimes be a problem for recording videos. That would be the why. Let's see if I can just twist this tight enough here. I might have to get a pair of pliers or something. I think I have anything that will grip that. Just bear with me a second here, guys. You guys are going to get moved here for a minute. This is going to show up on the camera. I know it'll show up on one of them. I want to tighten this up pretty tight. You're going to hear the noises of the dog in the background. So again, if you hear that, sorry. And I'm partially deaf, so there might be other noises that I can't hear that you guys hear clearly. Still be a bit too loose, but we're going to give it a shot. Anyhow, do that. Around once more. Last round for good measure. We're going to see what the dog is into, because she's in a spot she shouldn't be in. And now, I just need something from my box here that'll let me rest that iron. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old board. This is a board from an old scanner. And right about now, sorry guys, the dog's getting into something she can't be into. Okay, just a sec. Hopefully you can still hear me and I haven't messed up the mic. We're going to put in a the iron here. And I'm going to get some of my solder here. That's the solder I like. Let's see if I've got it here. So I've got my, back when I used to work actually even at Radio Shack, I've got my old lead-free solder. Geez, that's old. I think I bought that in the last year that I worked at Radio Shack, so God, I think that's, well, I can't even remember. Yeah, it's got to be 15 years or so. This solder here is rosin core. Can't remember when I got it, but you guys aren't getting smoke all up in your lens. I see there's some smoke coming up there now. Junk burning off that, but this is rosin core and it's leaded solder. So we can get this hot enough down here. The trick here is to get this hot enough down here. And before there's the rosin coming out, but we need to basically solder the body of the copper to the tip of the iron. We need there to be a heat transfer here, so we need a little bit of wet solder in there. Get both sides. Hopefully you guys aren't getting smoked out. I have my fume extractor off. It's not too bad up in here though, so. But the noise would have totally screwed up this video, so. There we go. Nice blob of solder up in there. Then what you want to see is, do we have heat conducting down this yet? It's getting down there. Now I've got the circuit board below what I'm doing because I don't really care. What you want to do is make sure that these tips can heat. Now I forgot to bend this in the shape of the target IC that I'm going to remove. That's my bad. Normally I would bend this into the shape of the ICs that I want to move. Right now I'm just tinning the tip of the extractor here. Actually, let me just get some steel. This might speed up the tinning. Get an even coat. You kind of want to paint those. I don't know if you can see that, but they're shiny now. But you kind of want to paint them. And yeah, there's a varnish on it that is slowly burning off. There's a, I don't know what it is, there's a coating on it. My nerves are not good today. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get this done before one of my alarms goes off, because that's going to be annoying. But anyhow, I mean, here you've seen how I've got it made. And if I can make sure this thing is tinned at every spot. That's the real trick in setting it up. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I had to actually kind of kick the dog out of the room because she was digging into some wires from a different project just because I wasn't paying immediate attention to her. Anyhow, so you've got that tip is tinned. Actually, I think we do have an IC here that can be targeted. What you would do is you want to find a chip that your wires grab the pins of. It's going to take a while for the heat, unfortunately, on a crappy little iron to get into the board. But you want to heat up those pads. And it takes solder to do that. Ooh, there's a lot of heat coming straight off of this. And of course I've got this bent to the wrong angle, so it's it's not going to be playing the way it should, but you get enough heat on. Lots of solder in the joint that connects the copper to the tip of the iron. Yeah, I think I got the spacing set too wide. Yeah. If I had this just right, you guys would be seeing it free that chip now. You see I've got the spacing wrong. It's got plenty of heat down there. It's melting the solder. It should be melting those pins, and I should be able to just flick that chip off. Holy smokes. Soldering on them is fine. It's probably a combination of shitty iron and not enough, too much of a gap. Of course it's hot, so it doesn't want to give me too much resistance. I bent it. I bent the darn wire. Okay, well, this is not the best example so far, guys. Sorry about that. Probably should have lashed. I don't know if you guys can see this. I probably should have lashed another lashing up here. See how it's bent? There's plenty of heat getting down there. And what's happening is the there. What's happening is, one, I've got the iron at a funny angle for me. I should have bent them more down. And the heat, yeah, I put the pins, they're still a bit too wide. So let me just close them in a touch. There we go. Everything in the way. Just so I go to do that. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Maybe this wire was too soft. You really want to have a stiff. The wire that you're doing this really needs to be stiff. Yeah, it's losing too much of its heat. So it bonded itself to the board. Just be able to flood that all with solder. I forgot my flux. I just realized now as I'm doing this. God, did I just pick the wrong board? It should be melting that chip and it should just be coming right off. Oh my. I think, yeah, I can see there's some cold solder there. It's got plenty of heat. I'm using heat at the bottom now. Is that chip glued down or something, I wonder? It's being a pain in the... Oops. Oh, I can feel there's a lot of heat dumped into the board, the board there. See if I can get one chip even off here. grief. Oh, I really should have brought my flux up. Darn it. It's a lack of flux here that's causing a lot of this. There's easily enough temperature down there to melt the solder. Tip. It'll take solder no problem. What it's kind of become is how to... Holy smoke. Is this iron just too stupid? I wonder. No. Well, I'm going to call that a fail, guys. But besides throwing solder, I can see I got blobs of solder everywhere. Some of this might have been from before, some of it might have been from now. Normally, I think this is moving around. Yeah, it's moving around too much and it's heating up there. Should have had probably more lashing here, or maybe inserted it inside the, should have lashed it some more. And maybe inserted it inside the iron. This should have been in where the metal post is. But usually the end of that copper will get hot enough to melt the solder right off the board. Like, there's some bulbs and junk that I stuck down earlier, and it melts it just fine. But it's loose. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually loose on the tip, so if it's loose, it doesn't have a good thermal contact. Otherwise, it would be, it's pushing the solder around like Play-Doh, so it's hot enough to make the solder plastic, not melt. Anyhow, you get the idea. We'll call this a fail. I think what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to take that middle, the old tip out, and I'm going to do a bigger ball of copper on the end. But in the day, with a crap iron, you pretty much might even be this iron. I could remove these chips easy. I guess it is a skill I have lost. But anyhow, from little ones like this, and that might be the problem here, it might be too big. I might have made these loops too long. Normally you can pull chips like that off. I mean, this is plenty hot enough. I'm dropping balls of solder all over the place here. I wonder, let me just bend that out of the way. Yeah, it melts the solder just fine. Maybe it was the, maybe it's not transferring the heat as well as it should be. What a mess. Alright, well that's me making a mess of the board. Anyhow, we're going to call that a fail and wrap it up here, because I do actually have to go to work today. You kind of get the idea, even though it failed. And I'm going to leave this video. I'm going to produce this video anyways, because I might as well show my failures. The idea is... I'm just going to put some metal underneath that. The idea is pretty simple. You use bent copper wire into the shape of the chip. I don't know, maybe this wire is too soft. I don't think so, because copper work hardens. I'll have to come back to this at a later time, but it's funny because it always worked for me easily in the past. And of course, I got to make a video and it's not going to work. But anyhow, as always, if you like this kind of video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. And I'll catch you in the next video. And a little post note. I did post a video about that little flash drive bay that was permanently in an HP computer case. I pulled it out, and it had a header that went to the motherboard in USB header style. And I just wanted to show making a GPIO male plug that could go into the bottom of the header, so you could non-permanently test to make sure it was going to work as a regular plain old USB external device. And then later I'll probably solder on a permanent wire. But the next phase is going to be coming up with a case for it and doing my decisions there. Anyhow, that'll be part 2 of that. But anyhow, again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.